So Dean Withers was recently called out by a TikToker called Tashika for essentially being an insane racist and having a huge hatred for black people, to the point where he falsely accused her of sexual harassment purely because of her skin color. However, after Dean's response, things quickly became way messier than I'm sure either of them ever anticipated. And we're gonna get into all of that today, but before we do, be sure to subscribe to the channel because we're so close to 1/3 of a mil, and I think it'd be dead cool if we can reach that by the end of the month. So if you're not already, then hop aboard, it's a good time, man. I mean, how can you see a shirt like this and not want to subscribe? If this here doesn't make you smile, I probably don't want you here anyway. This is definitely gonna alienate new viewers, by the way, because the Walmart thing is like an injury, whatever. Let's just move on, right? I feel like we should begin with the clip that instigated this entire drama. I've been getting a lot of requests for this, by the way, which is why I'm covering it. Feel free to send me requests on my Instagram if you want to, by the way. But what surprised me here is that Tashika wasn't actually the one who made the first call out. It wasn't really a call out, but Dean made a sly comment sort of criticizing Tashika for a past comment that she has made, and we'll watch that right now because that's what started everything. Don't worry, by the way, for those who don't know anyone involved in this situation, I'll talk about that as well, but first we'll watch this clip.
I want you to... Is there anyone watching the stream that thinks that all white people should be genocided?
Here, I'll pull it up. Just a moment.
Good thing we're relying on Twitter, which is like, you know, not filled with Russian bots or like bad faith actors that would, you know, perpetuate lies.
Yeah, I mean, the closest I could think of somebody like literally wanting a genocide of all white people that I'm familiar with is Tashika, another creator on this app. She legitimately wants a genocide of all white queer people. She did call for that. That was something she did. That was something she did, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, I cannot find that tweet or statement or any evidence that she has made that statement anywhere. I'm not gonna call it true or untrue based on anything because, you know, all right, so I guess we'll get into who these people are. You probably already know them already, but for those who don't, Dean Withers is a 21-year-old who's very famous for doing sort of political debates. He does these debates every day or so. He goes live on TikTok and YouTube and just debates random people who come into the live who are Republicans and talks about Trump and why he's bad, basically. It's a really infantile way of describing it, but I actually do think he does a lot of good work and he is very intelligent. He's also very young though, and I think you can tell, and the thing, I know that sounds hypocritical because like we're similar ages, but you can tell I'm young as well every now and then when I come out with something that's like a bit immature, you know what I mean? And so there definitely are some things that Dean comes out with or some situations that he's been in that make me think like, like, come on man, like what are you doing here? So I'm not like a super fan by any means, but I think all in all, he's actually a net good for the community and for the left. I also think what he does is genuinely quite important because in a democratic society like America, people like this who genuinely change minds, which he is doing, no doubt, really do matter when it comes to the vote. That's a very brief summary of him and his career, but if you're all interested, then go do your own research because that's pretty much all you need to know for this video here, right? He's very popular, so you probably already know him. Tashika, however, is nowhere near as popular, but we'll have a look at her TikTok page now. Okay, so here is Tashika. She has just over 100,000 followers on TikTok, which is nothing compared to Dean. However, there used to be a trio, right? There used to be Dean, Parker, and Tashika. Parker is also another political commentator who's very similar to Dean in terms of age, I guess, demographics, and everything else, really. Tashika does a pretty good job of explaining who she is in the videos that we'll look at later, so I'll leave that up to her to say. For now, though, here's her reaction to Dean making that statement about her saying that white queer people should be genocided.
Wants a genocide of all white queer people. She did call for that. That was something she did. That was something she did, yeah.
Oh my god, he's like actually dumb. I don't know if he's dumb or just like actually this evil. Posting a post from my Discord that I made about specific people from your audience who were white and harassing me and who were also queer and think they can lecture me? And then posing it as if I'm talking about every single person? Oh my god, like I don't know if like you're doing this because like you genuinely are like actually like low IQ or if you're dead ass just evil. Because what about my surrounding rhetoric ever gave that I want all white people to die? Like what about my rhetoric ever fucking gave that?
Yeah, so me personally, I don't think that Tashika has ever shown anything in her character that actually displays a deep hatred for white people or queer people or both of those traits combined necessarily. Or it's like, you know what? I'm okay with white people. I'm okay with queer people, but white queer people, why, Iota? Yeah, so I don't think, we can rest easy, I don't think she wants to murder anyone or cause any genocides there. I would be willing to bet that it's interesting that she doesn't actually show the message, though. I don't think anyone ever shows the message during this coverage at any point, which is interesting to me. Maybe it's just been lost to time, or they have some ulterior motive for not showing it, I don't know. I'd be willing to bet that it was her making a statement out of anger because people are, I guess, harassing her in her own words, and she phrased something that was very bad, she phrased something that could have been taken very badly. But let's say there happened to be a mob of white queer people attacking her. Maybe she made a message saying like, all you white queer people need to fuck off and die, or something. To be fair, it's not even that, that's not even something that gets interpreted badly. That's just a really bad thing to say, because we do know that she has a tendency of telling people to, as Dean would say it, unalive themselves, as I would say it, because I'm not 12 years old, kill themselves. This is a long story that Tashika made here. I don't think we're gonna watch it all, but the bottom line is that she's very, very cross with Dean for making that statement. Not a happy bunny.
If that's what I was saying, oh my god, it's like with every hair follicle he loses 20 points off his IQ. Like, he for real said, trigger warning. Trigger warning to who? The fucking racist queer white people who were sending me death threats? Oh my god, I'm gonna do 50 black flips. Black flips? I'm losing it. I'm having a stroke. Like, bro, like, if you harass me, I'm going to tell you to leave the server. Like, I'm going to tell you to hurt yourself.
I'm going to tell you to hurt yourself. When she said, I'm going to tell you to leave the server, I thought, you know what? Yeah, fair enough. That's fine. But that's definitely not what happened if Dean's saying that. And then she jumps from, I'm going to tell you to leave the server to, I'm going to tell you to hurt yourself. Which is a big jump there. I'm going to tell you to hurt yourself. That's mental. It's crazy. Like, Tashika is absolutely unhinged, which is something you'll soon come to realize. That's not to say that, like, we should immediately disbelieve everything she says, though. Like, absolutely there are things that should be listened to, and when she tells a story, we absolutely will listen to it and talk about it objectively, right? For sure.
What are we talking about? Like, you're trying to disparage me? For what? You know who exactly I was talking about. What? I'm actually gonna lose my shit. Like, he is genuinely fucking obsessed with making me out to be an ultra-violent weirdo, and this guy holds knives to his girlfriend's neck. Like, I don't even...
Sorry, I don't think there's any evidence that Dean holds knives to his girlfriend's neck. I have to look that up, I guess. So upon, like, a Google search, there's nothing about that. I don't know if that's a bit of insider information that Dean maybe just snuck on the down. By the way, Tashika, I like to stab my girlfriend. Anyway, what we talking about? I don't know how Tashika would even know that, but I guess she's throwing it out there. Also, maybe he's painting you out to be a violent person because you self-admittedly tell people to hurt themselves when they hurt your feelings. I've been harassed before. I really have. A lot of you have probably been here for when that harassment campaign was launched against me. At no point did I ever say to anyone that they should hurt themselves or that they deserve anything bad to even happen to them. Like, the best thing to do when you have people coming after you is to remain sensible and sort of disprove their claims with actual evidence, or by displaying your character, right? Actions speak louder than words, sort of thing. You can't just you can't just get pissed off and be like, go fuck yourself, you're a piece of shit, and I hope you die! Alright, I think we're done with that video there of all the stories, and also I think she was in a live there. We're gonna talk more about Parker now, because at this point Parker does a live and mentions Tashika.
Actually harassed me and Dean, even though that happened on live stream. Right, like, she explicitly would talk about circumstances about having sex with me and Dean while on live stream, knowing that we're in relationships, talk about hypothetical scenarios while comparing us to quote-unquote high-value men, and that if she had sex with a bunch of different versions of us, that she would want to do that a bunch. And that's on live stream, and it took a while for Dean and I to realize that this is sexual harassment because it made us feel uncomfortable, and it took a long time for us to come out specifically about that. And this is...
Yeah, okay, so what Parker is detailing here is that Tashika would be in these trio calls when it was sort of a trio of Tashika, Parker, Dean, and make very, very sexually explicit comments without their consent about fucking them or fucking high-value men, comparing their dicks to, like, Parker's... Very, like, risque, disgusting, horrible shit, right? And absolutely, if they're not consenting to it, that is a form of sexual harassment. And sexual harassment's a weird one because it's a scale, right? There's a big spectrum, right? There are some things that are nowhere near as traumatic as others that are all considered to be in this bubble of sexual harassment. Like flashing someone, for example, in person could be seen as sexual harassment. Making a risk gauge up, calling someone's dick small online could also be seen as sexual harassment, right? You get what I'm saying here. But you wouldn't call the police on someone for calling your dick small. Unless you're the kid from that Nirvana album who actually sued them for whatever, right? Off topic.
In the only circumstance, you can go check out Reddit where you can see where she explicitly herself admitted to literally unconsensually pleasuring herself on a FaceTime call with someone else. So if you don't believe me, go look at the Reddit and check out and see someone else specifically saying that about how it happened to them. It's a pattern of behavior. So I don't know why people would specifically defend what she has to say when explicitly speaking, there's so much information indicating that she's done this, not only just from me and Dean and other people that she's specifically done this to on live stream, by the way, but also specifically in the context of the Reddit. Go check out the Reddit, look at the whole thing.
What about believe all women?
Wait, what do you mean? I am the person who was specifically literally harassed in this circumstance.
I mean,
so are you saying that believing me is contradictory to my own position?
Well, I mean, believe all women would apply here because she has a voice message that we'll look at later where she admits to unconsensually doing sexual shit in a phone call with someone. Again, I feel like we're getting off topic a little bit. Tashika responded to this live and the mention from Parker very reasonably, I should say, right? I actually commend her for this because she really shows how how non-violent and sensible and level-headed she is here.
Senor Sedgwick! I guess he was, apparently, I'm being told in my DMs, I am being told in my DMs that Parker is on live, I guess, addressing the situation, and now is saying that I non-consensually self-pleasured on a phone call and admitted to it. I will fuck you up, actually. Oh, hold on. I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down. Wait, I gotta calm down. 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 I have to calm down. I have to calm down. I have to calm down. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have to calm down. Cause, yo, you better crank the bolt in your neck like Frankie from Monster High. Because if I ever catch you, I'm knocking shit off your shoulders.
Not a violent person, though, guy. Not a violent person at all. Here's the thing. I could give her some grace and be like, look, obviously she's over-exaggerating. I don't think if she actually saw Parker in real life, she'd start throwing hands with him. But, also, who the fuck knows? Some gal are just like that. But I guess the main thing to take away here is the complete denial of what happened, right? I know I'm making a lot of jokes here, but we should not be picking sides this early, of course, because no evidence has been provided by either side. And Tashika makes the big viral video that really gets things rolling in a second, and we'll have a look at that after this one, so don't you worry. But there was obviously a lot of build-up and preamble before that video comes. I feel like this section here, a lot of people have just sort of been skipping out on, right? They don't know what built up to that moment.
Let me finish this real quick before I start telling y'all what happened. Hold on. Because I will not, I can't even take this seriously. I'll knock your head off your shoulder. I'll jump down your throat and bust out your asshole screaming. Wallahi. Hold on, just give me a second, chat. Just give me a second.
I don't know if Google will have that information. Is Tashika Muslim? Okay, so I typed in, is Tashika Muslim? And the first thing I find is Tashika just called all Muslim people pedos. So I'm gonna guess she's not Muslim. I don't know if she actually did that, by the way. This is just a Reddit, so who actually knows? And I believe it's a snark Reddit as well, so in all actuality, it's probably false, actually. Okay, fucking hell. You know what? I've found, I think, some of these screenshots of her saying that white queer people should... Okay, so here we go. This is her arguing with Raccoon with Piano. I don't know who these fucking people are, but they're in the Discord. Raccoon with Piano asks, why am I the KKK and should kill myself for being white? I'm not gonna say the M word because YouTube doesn't like that word, but shut the fuck up, goddamn, this is why I said what I said, fuck. And she screams this one, shut the ever-loving fuck up. And then she tells Raccoon with Piano to jump. Imagine arguing this viciously with someone called Raccoon with Piano. That sounds fucking epic. They've got a piano and they're a raccoon. I don't know if they can play it, they just have one, but that's pretty cool. So yeah, she tells this person to kill themselves, and then they ask, because of my sexuality, To which she replies, yep. And she says, victimizing yourself, shut your little bitch ass up, either shut the fuck up or die, I don't care. And then Raccoon with Piano says, get medicated. And then they take the high horse, they take the moral high ground. This is really ableist, actually. You shouldn't be saying things like that. It's like, bro, you just told this person to kill themselves for being gay. You have no head, you have no leg to stand on here. This is fucking unhinged. It's just mental. And look, you've even got other people in the Discord. She's getting people to like gang up on this person called Star. Go find a cliff. You know, everyone's going against Raccoon with Piano. No one rates them. And she just spams the N-word a bunch, even though it's apparently not allowed in the Discord, but it's her server, so she can do what she wants, which I guess that's true. She's a bit of an autocrat. I respect that. Then you got other people in the, yeah, how about you end it, sweetie? Fuck it. People who use sweetie like that in that context is like, oh god, you are just the worst. But then Tashika changes her tune a little bit here. She blurs the N-word this time. Maybe she's saying naga. Who knows? And she says, I wouldn't care if you died right now. Fuck me. Like, yeah, I mean, people are not like painting you out to be a violent person. You're painting yourself out to be a violent person. This is like actually diabolical behavior. Jeez, fuck. Okay, so this is her literally saying that her entire goal in telling people to off themselves is that they off themselves. You are a violent person. Like, you're actually a vile fucking person. He even said in that Discord message that it was purely because of their sexuality that they should, like, kill themselves. Fucking hell, Tashika. How can you play victim at all here? Maybe she did call all Muslims pedophile. I really don't know anymore. All right, I think now we can actually, I guess we're done with all that now. I guess, all right, you know what? I'm glad I found that Reddit, actually, because there's a whole tapestry there of stuff that I had no idea existed still. But now, like, yeah, I guess we have evidence that Tashika undeniably is a fucking horrible person who should not have a platform.
You want to know who he's referencing? You want to know who he's referencing? You know what happened? He's referencing a FaceTime call between me and AG. Yeah. He's talking about AG.
Remember this is going to be very important later because this FaceTime call between her and this person named AG is integral to the story.
Let's really break this down, okay? Because... No. I can't take them seriously. Just leave me a second.
Okay, she's pissing me off. She's actually really fucking annoying me. We're just gonna move on to her big video where she makes a whole stink out of it.
So it has come to my attention that Dean Withers just called me a genocidal maniac on his live. He has a weird obsession with, like, sending white people to attack me. This man has been stalking me for 2 fucking years. And every time I keep telling you guys that he keeps doing that, nobody fucking believes me. But he will say random shit like that on his live stream to send white people to attack me. Specifically white people. Not even just his whole audience. Specifically white people. What is going on? What is going on? Dean, when are you gonna start telling people how you allowed your friend to abuse me? When are you gonna start telling people how you falsely accused me of a sex crime? So you don't have to, like, take accountability for what you did to me, for what you and Parker did to me. Dean, when are you gonna start telling people that you frequent a Reddit that talks about me? You're actually, like, sick in the head. What is wrong with you? Like, deadass, what is wrong with you? What the fuck is your problem? I have you blocked. I have you blocked on fucking everything, and yet you still keep tabs on me every fucking day. What do you... Leave me the fuck alone, bro. Leave me alone. What is your obsession with targeting black people? What is your obsession? Leave me alone.
I don't think Dean has a history of targeting black people, does he? I know he has quite a racist past. Like, when he was a teenager, he was very edgy. He'd use the M-word quite brazenly. He was definitely a racist kid, but, like, from actions speak louder than words, and it's evident that he's grown out of that now. Like, he wouldn't be able to convincingly use very, very reliable leftist rhetoric and all this evidence and stuff and really, like, educated debates if you didn't genuinely believe in what you were saying. Like, he's not grifting. As far as I'm aware, he doesn't actually talk about Tashika that much either, because why the fuck would he? Like, that's why this is all a big problem now, because he made that one comment about her, which is, like, you know, throwing a throwing a hot dog down a hallway. You know, it's not like there's fucking 100 hot dogs that are just cramming this hallway up. He just made one comment. Like, one comment in a decently long span of time. It's not like this is consistent every week, day in, day out. By the way, she's making some big accusations here, and obviously we shouldn't disbelieve them off the bat. Just because someone is a shitty person, it doesn't mean that people could have done them wrong as well. And we do know that Tashika is a shitty person, and we do know that she's a liar, and we do know that she's homophobic, and we do know that she's probably right, and we do know all these things, right? We know all this now. She's fucking horrible. But that does not mean that Dean has not done fucking horrible things to her as well, and is lying about those things. So we have to hear them out. So this here is the big one that caused that, like, this one is the one. This is like the video that started everything. 200,000 likes, millions of views. Here we go.
When Dean and Parker came out and said that I sexually harassed them, the only way I could describe how that felt was like genuinely feeling my brain split in two. Like, it changed my brain chemistry because I could not believe it. Sans the context of why they even said this, but let's address the accusation itself, right? Dean Parker and I used to be friends. We used to be a trio, dare I say. We would go live together every single day. You'll probably be able to find clips of them. I probably still have clips in my phone somewhere from like 2 years ago. Pre-blow-up, this shit was Dean, Parker, Tashika. When I first started doing debates on here, I wasn't doing Trump debates. I was doing like pro-sexuality debates. I was doing like body count debates and feminism debates. And that's what I was doing. And in this, my entire shtick was that I was like making sex jokes mid-debate and being funny. And that was my entire thing. And then one day, Dean and Parker DM'd me on Discord talking about how much they love my content and how much they want me to stay around. And after that point, we were a trio. We worked heavily together every single day. And the thing that is so crazy about the sexual harassment allegations is that we planned it. Like, when I would be on live with them and I would make like inappropriate jokes, right? Not even specifically to them, just like in general and shit. This is planned. Like, when the live streams would end, the three of us would be on FaceTime for hours, literally just talking about money and how we orient the next live streams.
So this is like, that's the real kicker here, right? That is the thing that completely dead in the waters every sexual harassment claim, because if they were planning this all and it was consensual, obviously it's not really sexual harassment at that point. And you even see here, people are asking like, why the fuck are they going so hard on you for no reason if nothing actually happened that was bad on your side? To which she very matter-of-factly responds with, black. So her claim here is that the only reason why these people are going so hard on her is because they fucking despise black people. Which is obviously, needless to say, a huge accusation, especially for someone who is famous for being a leftist. Which, you know, they're pretty notoriously anti-racist. Which, by the way, it's fucking mind-boggling that being an anti-racist is almost exclusively a left-wing thing now.
I didn't have the foresight to fucking record private phone calls 2 years ago. Sorry. And so when we're on these face calls, all I hear from them is fucking glaze. Nothing but glaze. How much they love the jokes, how well the live stream was, how many bands we fucking made. Which is why everything is so confusing, because like you guys would explicitly tell me not to stop. Like you would tell me that we have to keep this up. So when you said that I sexually harassed you and you told me to stop, I was like, what? Like this has to be explained. This has to be explained. Like that shit changed my fucking brain chemistry. Like I'm laughing about it now. But like in the moment, oh, I tried to save my life. Like as someone who has actually been sexually harassed, as someone who has been sexually assaulted several times, hearing that shit, oh, you would have thought the sky started falling, specifically on me. And it's just like at this point, like the one question that I would have to ask them is, what was the phone call? At which phone call did you say to bring down the temperature? Right? Because the only phone call that I remember you guys telling me to bring down the temperature wasn't about dirty jokes. It was about me making jokes about Dean being racist. Maybe I saw something in him. Every joke has a little bit of truth. And that phone call was just Dean being like, he's not sure if people will actually take me seriously when I make jokes about him being racist. So he's only okay with me making the jokes in private. And I was like, sure, man, I completely understand. And then you never heard me make a joke. What? Like, I remember this other phone call.
I wish we had like some of the lives where she would actually make these jokes so we could sort of, I guess, assess how crass these jokes were, if that makes sense. But this here, I do believe that Dean was uncomfortable with Tashika making jokes about him being racist still. However, I will say, it's a bit iffy for Tashika to be calling Dean like a hater of black people and this huge racist when Dean's racist history was very much apparent by the time they were collaborating. Like when Tashika, Dean, and Parker were collaborating, Dean had already gone through his whole like saying the N-word thing and doing all this fucking edgy shit, right? So it's weird that you have a problem with it now, but you were all well and good to collaborate with him at the time.
I remember this other phone call where it was like 3 a.m. for me, right? And Parker texts me, you up? And I say, Parker, don't ever text me like that again in your fucking life. But he texts me, you up? And I go, yeah. And he FaceTimes me. And I'm like, fuck it, cool. Parker and I are on FaceTime. We're just chatting it up, right? I don't remember how we got onto the topic, right? But like 3 or 4 months ago, I was on a live stream with, it was me, Parker, and Matt, and Dean for like a second, right? And I was talking about like a guy that I had met on Tinder and what I did with him, right? Because that's what me and the chat were talking about. Like, it was my goddamn live where I was telling chat what was going on in my life. And then Parker, like, deep into the conversation, like, leaves the live suddenly, right? So 3 months after that, I'm on FaceTime with Parker, and I go, oh, what happened in that live? Why did you leave all of a sudden? He said his girlfriend was questioning why he was up in the live while I was talking about that. And I was like, your girlfriend was uncomfortable with me talking about my sexual escapades on live? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, and I got mad at him. I said, Parker, you need to tell me when things like that happen. You have to tell me when things like that happen. I don't want to make your fucking girlfriend uncomfortable.
You see, all this is like, I feel like this is actually quite petty. Like, these stories being told, like, I don't think this fucking, who gives a fuck? This doesn't change anything. Especially with the stuff that gets revealed later is like, this is fucking this is nothing. This is actually nothing, this story here. It's the false claims of sexual harassment. It's the allegations of insane racism from Dean and Parker. Those are the things that matter here. As well as the abhorrent behavior that Tashika has displayed online in the past and seems to be continuing to display according to Dean. It's weird because they're both claiming that, like, each other's pasts haven't stopped being controversial. So Tashika is saying that Dean's past was racist, but it's not in the past, right? He's still a massive racist. And then Dean's saying that Tashika's edgy past is not her past, right? She's still this massive, I hate white people, I hate gay people, genocidal weirdo, right? Difference being, I think Dean has taken accountability for his past many, many times before. I've not seen one clip of Tashika ever expressing regret for telling people to kill themselves for being gay or anything along those lines, which is obviously one of many examples of her being a fucking horrible person online.
No, like, deadass, what about the time when AJ... what about the time when AJ, you know, the guy that held a gun to his head in front of me? What about the time where he was talking about how his girlfriend didn't like how I made certain jokes, and then Dean and Parker, you guys, like, defended me and said, oh, that's just Tashika. She's just flirtatious. She doesn't actually mean any of these things she means well. Why did you guys defend me if I was sexually harassing you? Why would you... I don't understand. I just don't understand why you said that. I just don't understand any of your actions. I don't understand. And it drives me insane because I don't even have proof for any of these things. These are all phone calls. But I remember them explicitly. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's actually going on? Like, why did you do that? Like, I need a genuine answer as to why you did that. And if you don't give me an answer, bro, I want you to fucking... Also, like, Dean, like, when we were on Jubilee together, why did you whisper that you were happy to see me? Why did you... I'm laughing about it now, but, like, I got fucking played. Like, what the... Like, nothing's fucking funny, bro. Like, I'm gonna have a violent reaction to you, bro. It took everything in me to not swing. Like,
I guess it's like, how are you gonna paint people? This is the thing. It took everything for me to not swing at you. I'm gonna have a violent reaction. I'm pretty sure she almost told them to kill themselves, but sort of stopped at the cuh. She's talking about the Jubilee video. I believe it was 20 left-wingers versus, like, Ben Shapiro or something. Remember she made, like, some really weird comments in that video, like calling Ben Shapiro handsome and shit? Let me see if I remember that correctly. Okay, and they're talking about abortion here, and Ben Shapiro is obviously very anti-abortion because he fucking sucks. So yeah, known white supremacist, misogynist, pro-Israel right-winger. One of the biggest and most influential right-wing grifters on the planet. I say grifter, but I feel like he actually believes the shit he says, so it doesn't even really count as grifting. But either way, yeah, just bear that in mind for what Tashika says.
You made it. You're good. You can relax.
hi, how are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Hello, nice to meet you. Oh wow, you look better in person. Okay, so...
That's very sweet of you. I don't often get that, so thank you.
Okay, it's fine.
So yeah, big old nice compliment there. I guess maybe it's just a bit of hospitality, right? Being a nice girl. Not something I personally would have done because I fucking hate this guy. But hey, you know, you're allowed to be cordial with people that you disagree with, I guess. Although to be fair, I guess Dean isn't allowed to say that he's happy to see you, so maybe you're not allowed to be cordial.
And then when they see you in person, they try to talk to you and say, like, oh my god, I'm so happy to see you. Oh, it took everything on me not to... Ooh, like the person that was sitting between us? Oh, I was shaking. Ask him. After all the therapy, like, the concept of labeling me this, like, vulgar, hypersexual predator monster, like, bro, what about me ever gave... like, bro, like, niggas think I'm mean, and now I'm a predator! Like, what? Like, this app isn't real. This shit isn't real. Oh my god, like...
It's actually a little bit weird. You know, like, you're allowed to compliment Ben Shapiro, but Dean's not allowed to say that he's happy to see you. Like, that elicits a violent reaction from you. I guess it's different because you knew each other personally, and if he did all these fucking horrible things and falsely accused you, yeah, I get it. It's more of a personal, more personal there. But still, it's a little bit of potential hypocrisy or strangeness there. You can tell me what you think about that one. I think I am reaching a little bit, in fairness. So Dean went live. This was a huge live. It was a big deal at the time, and Tashika, without having watched the live first, decides to join midstream. I mean, I think we've gone over so many times on this channel how much of a fucking horrible idea it is to live stream your reaction to a response or expose video about you. It only ever leads to horrible things. I say that, but I've done that once with Anime Ribbon, but he was such a fucking idiot that, like, it went okay. But with Dean, there's so many things you could say about Dean, right? Maybe he's a racist. I don't know him personally, but he's certainly not an idiot. Like, he's very obviously, he's well-spoken, he's intelligent, he's educated, like, he knows his shit. So we're gonna have a look at her initial reaction to the live starting.
So this was brought to my attention, and I was supposed to go live to do debates, but I, like, just woke up late. Should I do, like, a watch party or Yo, I don't know if I should open up, like, a fucking cow sheep bet or some shit, but, like, here's what he's gonna do. I bet you, bro, somebody get out your bingo cards, right? He's gonna... he's gonna go live. He's gonna go live. He's gonna act really somber. He's gonna act really serious. He's going to say that I called for his death and give no context. He's going to bring up other crazy shit that people have said about me and then, like, not provide any evidence of it, right? He's actually specifically going to bring up the time that I apologized to that girl, even when I fully didn't mean it and I was just trying to fuck her girlfriend, right? They were open, shut up. Oh, he's also gonna, like, read the, like, that Discord post, and I guess it's supposed to, like, galvanize white people against me. Weird. He's, like, really obsessed with, like, oppressed groups loving him. I don't know. Like, it's, like, you know what I mean? But he's probably gonna, like, read it out. Brother. Like, he's also just not gonna give context on it. He's not gonna give context on the fact that, like, I was talking about, like, the whitey people who were harassing me and also the whitey, like people within the community, that were harassing me.
This is really, really, really difficult to watch now after Dean's live, by the way, because everything that she's saying here does not happen. He provides evidence for pretty much every claim that he makes in the live. And when Tashika does her fucking live watch party of it, we have to, like, watch her witness all the evidence being played in real time, and it's a very, very tough watch. It's oddly cathartic seeing a liar and, like, piece of shit being called out live and, like, seeing their reaction as it all happens. Like, we always say to be a fly on the wall. Well, this time we actually get to see it. But you can see before the live, people were saying, like, he can never make me hate you, girl. All these people, like, very much on her side. Now, who knows if this TikTok user still doesn't hate her? Who knows? Definitely are a lot of virtue signalers who are siding with her purely on the basis of her being a black woman. Which, obviously, yeah, black women are an oppressed group and they absolutely should be listened to. But even me, I feel like a fucking weirdo when I say shit like that, man. I feel like so many people on the internet are guilty of, like, putting people in oppressed groups on, like, this pedestal where it's like, just fucking shut up. You know, that does, like, more harm than good. And that's not me saying that black women shouldn't be listened to. Obviously they should, but, like, it just sounds, there's a way to put it. It just sounds so virtue signally sometimes when you're like, oh, I just love this oppressed group and I will believe them because they have a history of being oppressed, even when there is outstanding evidence going against their claims. And they also have an incredibly homophobic history of telling gay queer people to kill themselves.
Or lies. So, but he's not, he's gonna make a bunch of accusations and then, like, not give context, like, at all. You know what I mean? He's gonna talk about AJ, right? He's gonna say that I defended a, but he's not gonna bring up how that guy said, also put on your bingo cards that he's gonna bring up, like, his mental health, right? He or Parker, they're gonna bring up their mental health and how hard things are for them, like, so hard. Or he's going to bring up, like, a bunch of other people who I've fallen out with, and then they're gonna lie on his behalf. And all of the compounding things that say that I'm, like, a terrible person is going to, like, somehow prove that I sexually harassed him and Parker. $500 on my desk right now. I don't know, maybe I'll watch it live. But there's actually a video on my YouTube channel of me going over the entire situation. I think it's like 2 hours long, I think the entire situation. And you can find it on my YouTube channel. I had it unlisted, but I unlisted it. I mean, unlisted it, so it's out there as public. So yeah, you guys can go watch that. It's pretty kind of heavy because I am, like, hyperventilating through a lot of it. So, you know, don't make fun of me for that, but, you know, like, I bet you guys it's gonna be, like, a live, like, this person's done this bad thing, they've done this. It's gonna be like a memorandum on my entire life and every single, like, bad thing that I've done, right? They're gonna bring up, like, how I tell terrible people to...
Why does she say her telling people to kill themselves is a bad thing? It's like, no, that's just a bad thing. There's one thing about maybe in private making an edgy joke that it's very obvious you don't mean, but when you're telling strangers online to kill themselves with no hint of irony, that's, like, the key thing. No hint of irony, and messaging people saying, like, oh no, my goal in telling people to off themselves is that they actually fucking off themselves, then yeah, it's not a bad thing, it's just a bad thing. Okay, let's give Dean's live a watch. We're gonna watch the YouTube version because it's a full screen and not portrait, so that's fun, isn't it? It's like an hour-long segment. We're gonna skim through it though. I'm gonna show the important bits only. For some reason, he starts by, like, telling the audience to be like, put a 1 in the chat if you believe her and a 2 if you don't. I don't know what all this is, but, like, just fucking get into it, mate.
I want to see you in the chat. And I'll tell you why here in a second. I don't want anybody who says that you don't believe her to attack the people that say they do. All right? I don't want anyone to say that.
All right, mate, let's fucking get into it, shall I? I wanna see the evidence here. Okay, here we go. Here's the thesis statement here.
Tashika unconsensually touched herself to an autistic queer woman on FaceTime, and then she threatened to sue that woman if she were to publicize the evidence. And after that woman publicized the evidence, Tashika then spent the next year of her life abusing and attacking that woman, including telling her to unalive herself, saying that this woman's autism is why she can't understand why she's in the wrong, and posting that she hopes that this woman starves to death while that woman was in the hospital getting a feeding tube surgically implanted into her because of her nearly life-ending eating disorder. And while all of this was happening, Tashika was also saying that if she were to see this woman in real life, she would beat them. And over the course of the next 5, 10, 15 minutes, however long it takes, you're not going to believe this because you believe me. You're going to believe this because I'm going to show you irrefutable evidence.
You know what sucks? After everything we've seen about Tashika, I'm not even going into this live thinking, no, there's no way. That's like crazy, that shit. I'm listening to this going, yeah, that sounds about right. Sounds like something that's in line with her behavior. And that's just insane to me.
That woman's name is AG. AG, as I just stated, is an autistic queer woman with a severe eating disorder. She maintains her physical health with the use of a feeding tube for caloric intake. And by the way, earlier today, I spent 3 or 4 hours on the phone with AG, making sure that everything is correct and that I have her express consent to share everything that I'm about to share with you. So before we get into the receipts, here's the story of what happened. 3 people who were friends at the time were on a phone call. Those 3 people were AG, another individual by the name of Sam, and Tashika. While they're on that phone call, they had a long conversation. Towards the end of their conversation, they started talking about G-spots, sex life, etc. But this was a quote-unquote girl talk between 4 friends hanging out. This was not a sexual conversation. Sam then looked at Tashika on FaceTime, and she asked her, Tashika, are you touching yourself? Tashika responded by saying yes. Sam responded by suggesting that she take it off the phone before Sam then left the FaceTime. At that point, there were only 2 people on that call, being Tashika and AG. Tashika then continued to touch herself, while AG responded by repeating 3 to 4 times, quote unquote, I think you should take this off the phone. Now, let's get into the evidence. The first thing that we're going to look at here is a text message that was sent from AG's girlfriend to Tashika after this occurred. Now, the individual words on this text message are going to be rather small. It's what comes next that's important. On this line of text, in the middle, AG's girlfriend says to Tashika, like when you were trying to find your G-spot on FaceTime, AG had expressed that maybe you should figure it out on your own. I was uncomfortable as I felt there was no consent in this situation and what felt to be a quote-unquote informative masturbation lesson. In response, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, Tashika then sent a multiplicity of voice messages back to AG's girlfriend. Let's go ahead and take a listen to those voice messages now.
I'm gonna let this voice message play out, but this is the big bit of evidence here that fucks everything up for Tashika. And there's a myriad of these voice messages. Like, this is a very serious thing here. And you've got it here. She even prefaces it with, like, I am going to make a lot of very deserved and long-awaited apologies in these voice messages. Let's hear the voice message, shall we?
Like, I genuinely wasn't even thinking of it in, like, a sexual thing. I had genuinely compartmentalized that entire conversation as, like, fully, like an anatomy conversation. But I very much should have asked for your consent, and I'm so sorry that I didn't. I genuinely don't know where the fuck my mind was. I'm really just fucking stupid. And I clearly got entirely too comfortable on that phone call.
So she is claiming that during the phone call, she was touching herself for biological, educational reasons and like anatomical demonstrations and not for any sexual purpose. Now, look, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna call bullshit there. You know that really annoying prick in like science when you're doing like a reproduction lesson and then that annoying, like, he stands up, he goes, oh, so we're gonna do a practical. It's never funny. No one ever, like, well, you always get that one immature little bastard who's like, so funny, it's all sex. But usually no one laughs because it's not funny. It's the most obvious joke ever. Everyone, that's Tashika. Tashika was definitely that gal. But it's like, even if it was an anatomical fucking thought in your head, it doesn't excuse it at all. Absolutely fucking heinous thing to do. And like, if you want to talk about false accusations of sexual harassment, it's like, this is textbook sexual harassment. She even admits that she didn't ask for consent.
You heard it from her. Let me go ahead and repeat a quote that we just heard from Tashika. And I quote, my behavior on that phone call was fucked up.
No, Dean, we heard her say it. We don't need you to repeat it, Dean. We heard it already. It's just so dramatic. It's quite funny. We're gonna skip him repeating the words, I think.
AG then went public about this, but she hadn't released evidence yet, like the voice memos I just played for you. Tashika then said to AG on a live stream that she's being falsely accused, and she called AG harmful because, according to Tashika, AG was quote-unquote falsely accusing a black woman. AG then tells Tashika.
She does that a lot. She likes to use her race as like a weapon, her position as an oppressed person, as a weapon against people who accuse her, as like a way of defending us. And the sad thing is it works. It really does work. When you check her TikToks and that, there's like tons of comments with 40,000 likes being like, I believe you because you're a black woman. Let's see if I can find one actually. Yeah, here we go. Look, I always believe black women first. But she's very intentional about this all. She knows there are people who are very aware of how black women have been oppressed for hundreds of years. And as a result, people are more inclined to believe them because there's a real fear there of like not believing a genuine victim of something that's been going on for ages, like this systemic oppression. Like it makes sense, it makes total sense, and you're not a dickhead for believing her because of that, but like she's very aware of how sympathetic some people are and uses that as a weapon, which yeah, it's fucking grim in my opinion.
And then she asked Tashika if she could play those voice memos. In response, Tashika then threatened to take AG to court if she were to play the voice memos. Let's go ahead and listen to that now.
Well, can I ask you how I'm harmful? Right, you accuse a black woman of a violent sexual crime, you deviant. I mean, but you admitted. Okay, they can go watch the video. Well, they don't have the voice recording, which I do have the voice recording of you admitting to it. Me admitting to it. Correct. Yeah. Do you want me to play it? Do you want to go back to court? I won't go to court for that. Yes, you would. Are you serious? No, that's not a phone call.
Okay, so first of all, showing a voice memo is not suable. Like, a phone call, sure, one party consent or whatever, you can't do that. But a text or a voice memo, I don't think that's punishable by law or like civil court or anything like that. I think AG's totally within her rights to publish that. I guess she didn't know. Maybe she was scared. Maybe Tashika's threats worked on her. Who knows? But all we do know is that Tashika, right there and then, was threatening her with legal action for exposing the evidence. This is like textbook abuser behavior, by the way. I'm gonna do all this horrible shit to you, but if you talk about it, I'm going to sue you and make your life as difficult as possible. It's fucking horrific.
Tashika unconsensually touched herself to AG on a FaceTime. AG goes public about it, tells the world. Tashika knows that AG has undeniable evidence that Tashika did this to her. The voice memos that I just played of Tashika admitting to it. And in response, Tashika says, I'm going to take you for court if you publicize them. Tashika then denied that evidence, the voice memos that we just listened to. Tashika says that her apology does not amount to an admittance of guilt. And rather, Tashika says, the only reason why she apologized for it is so she could fuck AG.
You know what? She did say that. She actually said that in the fucking TikTok before the live. Let me see if I can find that one. Yeah, here it is.
The time that I apologized to that girl, even when I fully didn't mean it and I was just trying to fuck her girlfriend, right?
Yeah, she says, I apologized to that girl even though I didn't mean it and I was trying to fuck her girl. Like, that makes it any better. Because it doesn't. Like, that's still fucking... That's deranged behavior. That's even worse. What? You didn't mean the apology. I guess she means that she didn't actually do anything bad. But if you didn't do anything bad, why the fuck would you send that many voice memos apologizing for it? Fuck, that's like sociopathic shit right there, man. She's just such a fucking weirdo, man. It's actually, it's genuinely unhinged. Like, not even Dankyjabo YouTube title placeholder unhinged. This is actual definitionally unhinged.
Tashika says, so when I apologize to AG's girlfriend, even when, referencing the voice memos by the way, even when I think what she was saying doesn't make any sense, I can also mean the apology and also be motivated to apologize because I really want to be on her good side so I could fuck her girlfriend.
Jesus, there's so many things, there's so many reasons why this is shitty that I genuinely can't even go through them all, but I don't really need to. Like, I feel like you guys aren't idiots. You're not dumb. You know why this is bad.
So she then started trying to convince everybody and anybody who would listen that the only reason she admitted to unconsensually touching herself to AG was so she could fuck AG by appeasing AG's girlfriend with the apology.
And also, as bad as that is, that would still be horrible if it was true. I also think she's full of shit. Like, I don't think I would ever be in a position where I want to shag someone so bad that I would admit to wanking on camera in front of someone on a fucking phone call if I didn't actually do it. Like, if I didn't do something that bad, you wouldn't catch me dead admitting to it. It just doesn't make it makes no sense.
Tashika said no, that was straight up a lie. Tashika, you can't call that a lie. You forget that we have you admitting it recorded. Let's go ahead and listen to that one more time for the record.
No, it's okay. I believe you now. We heard it already.
Hey, Tashika, did you unconsensually touch yourself on FaceTime? Tashika says no, straight up a lie. What about the voice recording? Is this you?
I very much should have asked for your consent, and I'm so sorry that
Oh! Let's go ahead and move on to the next line item. This is really where Tashika started completely losing her shit, okay? Because at this point, the same lie and contradiction.
For the record, telling all those lies and like all this manipulation, like genuine emotional manipulation to fuck someone could also very well be seen as like that's very predatory behavior, actually. Like that's something that a really strange predatory man does to like get with a girl who otherwise wouldn't consent. It's fucking really weird either way.
And I quote, "White queer liberals are the literal KKK. You are not less white because you are an FAG. A black strap-on is not equivalent. Stay far away from me or jump IDK." And for the record, keep in mind what's underlined in red is specifically referring to AG and her girlfriend. "I hope those specific, non-consenting, dirt pussy, codependent, lesbian, SKANKS end up alone like the degenerates they are." You could read the rest to yourself if you like.
You are perfect for each other. Have fun with your racist mums. I hope you stay broke and I still have half a mind to take your asses to court and take that last $100 you didn't have and use it to buy Zephyr more toys. Zephyr, whatever their name. You morally unencumbered infidel. Die. Like, what do I even say to this, man? She's so obviously wrong here. Like, she's posted, this is a thing as well. She posted 0 evidence. There is not one screenshot she has shown. So how the fuck can you side with her here? I think you'd have to be extremely irrational to side with her here. It just doesn't make any sense.
AG then continued after this to once again corroborate the fact that Tashika unconsensually pleasured herself to AG on live, on a FaceTime. Tashika again loses it, and then she went on somebody else's live and said, quote unquote, "In sexual situations, you are unable to communicate what you want. If you are unable to communicate what you want," she's referring to her way of, how AG explicitly never said no on that FaceTime call, "then you shouldn't be having sex." Remind, I'm quoting Tashika here, quote unquote, "You should not be engaging in any type of sexual interaction. You are going to self-sexually assault. So just don't do it. If you fawn or freeze, when somebody's engaging with you sexually, you shouldn't have sex."
This is a big statement. This caused a lot of conversation, actually, and a lot of controversy. I want to actually hear her say it first before I start discussing it. Because there is a tiny bit more nuance than I think most people are giving that statement. Before you get worried, I think what she said was shitty, right? But we'll talk about that in a sec.
And I understand that she's live right now watching this. Get her to deny it. Get her to deny it. And then come back to this comment section and tell me she denied it. Get her to deny it. Let me see you. Flood the chat. She's denying it, everyone? Oh, wait! I have a screen recording! Let's go ahead and take a look, folks. Should have thought of that. Should have thought of the fact that someone recorded the live before you denied it, Tashika. Let's go ahead and play it now.
But if in sexual situations you are unable to communicate what you want, you should not be having sex. You should not be engaging in any kind of sexual interaction because you are going to like self-assault yourself. So just don't do it. I'm going to critique people who do that, and you need to be critiqued. You do not get to engage in these types of interactions if you fawn in the context of sexual interaction. If you fawn when someone is engaging with you sexually.
Okay, so based on what she said, right? Here's the thing. If this was someone with a completely clean past who doesn't have a history of sexually harassing people, I would, in my mind, think, you know what? There is something to what you are saying there. Like, if I had a female friend of mine who said something along the lines of, you know what? I really want to get out there and start having casual sex or engaging in hookup culture, but I'm really bad at communicating what I want or saying when I'm uncomfortable. Like, actually telling people when I'm uncomfortable. I would be very worried about that. I would encourage them not to engage in casual sex because in my mind, it's like, there's a lot of fucking horrible men out there. There are a lot of men who are fucking disgusting, and especially in hookup culture, when you don't have that trust or pre-established relationship, they're a lot more likely to do things that are unconsensual or do things without asking you first, right? Maybe not even intentionally, because they're not educated, because they're fucking stupid, or maybe it is intentional, maybe they're fucking creeps, and they're doing it intentionally to fucking assault you or whatever. But either way, if you are that uncomfortable establishing boundaries, then yeah, you probably shouldn't be engaging in casual sex, right? Stay safe. You want to stay safe. Obviously, it's different if you're in a relationship. Tashika says any kind of sex. I think that's a bit fucking unhinged. But above all else, Tashika saying this is fucking horrific because it's a direct response to her sexually harassing someone. And that's what makes it victim blaming, in my opinion. Like the very statement, if you are unable to communicate during sex or establish that you are uncomfortable, you should not be engaging in casual sex. I think that much is fine. That's like saying don't take a drink from a stranger. It's decent advice. However, if you do happen to be in a situation like that, it isn't your fault that you got sexually assaulted. Like, let's say that you know you are unable to communicate during sex or establish that you're uncomfortable. If you still engage in sexual activity and get assaulted, that's not on you. Like, you do not deserve to be blamed for that traumatic event, right? Obviously, it's on the man or on the assaulter, right? Maybe it's who knows, right? It's on the assaulter for doing it, right? They shouldn't have fucking done that. In the same way, yeah, it's very widespread and known advice not to take a drink from a stranger. But if you take a drink from a stranger and get spiked, that's not on you. It's on them for being a horrible horrific, predatory piece of shit. What Tashika is saying here is akin to if a man spiked a drink, gave it to a lassie, they drink it, and then the bloke goes, well, I'm gonna criticize her because she should know not to take a drink from a stranger. Like, she should just know that, so if anything, it's her fault. That's what Tashika is saying here. Tashika's saying, like, oh, well, AG shouldn't have even been on that phone call because she knows that she can't, that she freezes or fallen or whatever, so it's actually on her. When there's so many things wrong with that, because, like, no, it's on you. You are the one who committed the harassment here. This is like, again, this is textbook victim blaming. And on top of that, it's not even as though she knew she was going to be engaging in anything sexual from the start of the phone call, because it was just a phone call. Like, when you started touching yourself, it was just unprompted. So this makes even less sense, because you say you should not be engaging in sexual activity. She wasn't engaging in sexual activity. You made it sexual. You fucking wanker, honestly. Literal wanker, actually, based on what the accusations are. Tashika, man, the type of person to think that public masturbation's so much fun and it should be illegal.
Tashika say is that if you fawn or you freeze, okay, which is true of many people, okay, but can especially be true of like particular autistic individuals, which is what AG explained to me, then you shouldn't be engaging in sexual intercourse, anything, sexual conduct whatsoever. And in fact, inside of the clip that we just listened to, we heard Tashika say, quote unquote, if you do engage in sexual conduct, then you are sexually assaulting yourself. In that breath, we heard Tashika admit that what she did to AG was sexual assault, but then blamed it on AG.
And that's not an exaggeration there at all. That is absolutely what she was doing, and I completely agree. Like, what she was doing there is absolutely victim blaming, and it's fucking, yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
Fallout of AG publicly exposing Tashika of unconsensually masturbating to her on FaceTime. During this time, Tashika was acutely aware of AG's rapidly declining health due to an extreme eating disorder. October, she was told by doctors that if she would die and didn't seek one moment. I'm noticing something here before I continue. Everybody in my TikTok chat is spamming invite her. Stop centering the perpetuator of this violent, heinous act. Center the victim. Stop centering Tashika. Center AG. Why are you telling me to invite the person that perpetuated this violent, heinous act when I'm trying to tell you what the victim of this violent, heinous act was going through in that time? Now I'm going to go back to what I was saying. In October, AG was told by doctors that she would die if she didn't seek immediate help. She was severely malnourished. She was then hospitalized at 5'6" and 83 pounds. Inpatient, outpatient, and then received a feeding tube surgery late December. The afternoon of New Year's Eve.
It's like 40 kilograms. Fuck me. That's like half of me.
AG's heart stopped. And until mid-New Year's Day, they were in the hospital trying to get her vitals to a sustainable place. All of Tashika's comments and attacks were targeted towards these events, specifically the ones I'm about to show you. Oh, man. All right, photo number 2. Tashika referred...
Jesus fucking Christ, man! She will remain as Jack Skellington in my phone. First of all, it's on my phone, dumbass. And people on the Discord love that shit. She is literally procuring an audience of fucking horrific people, by the way. Everyone in this Discord is horrible. It's like, no wonder a lot of her audience were on her side. She's like hypnotized them into being pieces of shit just like her.
To AG is Jack Skellington by saying she will remain as Jack Skellington in my phone. Oh, man. Yeah, this next one is really hard. This is photo number 3. Tashika says, since all is going to shit, I'm gonna publicly say again that I hope AG starves to death.
Fuck me. And again, it's like, I'd almost be tempted in giving her some grace and being like, yeah, maybe she's making a really horrible, uneducated, edgy fucking joke that is also unacceptable. But when there are messages of her being like, oh no, I mean what I say, I want people to kill themselves, I can't read this message and think anything other than, yeah, she means this. She genuinely wants this. Just because they were brave enough to come out of their story of sexual harassment.
I will make you fucking homeless, AG. Photo number 1. This one is a little bit harder to see, especially if you're watching on mobile. I'll try my best to zoom in. AG, because of her autism, struggles with empathy. She doesn't know how to deal with things when she is the problem. You know, it's really hard to read these things. And just knowing, you know, what AG has experienced over the course of the last couple of years, it's hard. It's hard. Not only did Tashika unconsensually touch herself to AG on a FaceTime call, and then admit to it in voice messages that we listened to, but then she said she'd take AG to court if she released those voice memos. Said that she's going to stop them from getting out. But then after all was said and done, and AG released those voice memos, proving that Tashika unconsensually touched herself to her, she denied it all, and now she's saying that she hopes AG, who had to get a surgery to get an implanted feeding tube, should starve to death because of her ED, or that AG with autism is now Tashika's blaming it on her autism.
You know the worst thing is, you know what's mental as well? If she just didn't get brave and get triggered by Dean saying about the white genocide thing, if she just shut the fuck up and kept doing her own thing and stayed to herself, this wouldn't be exposed and she would still have a career right now. She fucked it by getting too in her ego and being personally offended by the truth being exposed and her horrible fucking past being brought back to roost, that she just went apeshit and now she's fucked forever. Like, she will never have a career after this. She wasn't big enough to be able to salvage a genuine internet career out of all this after it's all been exposed, I think. I think she's actually done. For the best, by the way. Like, someone like this should not be on the fucking internet.
I want you to now listen to a recorded phone call that Tashika had with AG after AG platformed Parker.
That one must retrace the terrible things that happened to them in order for you to grasp. Because I don't think that it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary for Sam to have to go back down all of the traumatic things that happened in order for you to grasp. Because I think, you know what, fuck it, I've already checked out. I think the way that you came to this conversation was super fucking weird. I think it was super fucking disrespectful. I think the fact that we have to tell you how he hurt me and why he hurt me in order for you to person and what
Keep in mind, she's talking about Parker.
he did to me, the fact that you need to know the intricacies of my trauma before you can like play into any kind of fucking empathy, I think is bullshit. That's bullshit. So the answer is that you're not a safe person. And you know what, fuck it. I think if you're looking for friends in people, you should be looking for explicitly if they're safe people. And you're fucking not. You're not. Because that's fucking insane. People shouldn't have to do that for you. I think that's bullshit. Bullshit. So you know what, Sam? Don't even go down the fucking sword. Don't even go. I'm not doing it. If you don't even give a fuck to do the work for me, to the way that you need to therapize me and try to teach me a fucking lesson about how other people are, bitch, you have never been through the shit that I have been through. I don't give a fuck what you think you've been through. I've been through shit. You have to therapize me on this. I don't give a fuck. You don't have to teach me anything. Anything. I think it's disgusting. Autism or not, it is disgusting for a person to have to tell you the intricacies of their trauma for you to have empathy. I don't know. No. Nobody's doing that. You just shouldn't have fucking done it. Everyone thinks that show's weird. You just shouldn't have fucking done it.
And then she continues on like that, bullying, berating, saying that because AG has autism and maybe needs like a little bit more of an explanation of like why Tashika feels the way she does than somebody that doesn't have autism, yelling at her saying, I don't give a fuck, you're not a safe person.
There really isn't much to say about the phone. I feel like the evidence sort of speaks for itself a little bit, so we'll let the rest play out, I suppose. We're nearing the end of this now, so don't you worry, we'll get into Tashika's response very soon.
Here are some other crazy statements made by Tashika. On her Discord, she said, and I quote, in response to a white person joining her stream and calling her the N-word, which of course is very wrong. That's fucking racist. To anybody that uses the N-word in your right, fuck you. But in response, she said, white people need to be destroyed. And then went on to say, finish the job in Gaza. No, we need to finish the job in Ohio. You know what? That's it. Kill all whites and their co-conspirators. She also said, genuinely unalive yourself, Dean, you racist, grifting, evil, patsy fuck. But we'll get around to that. She also said, haters, you can unalive yourself, especially if you're white. Live stream it in 4K HD VR even. And then she went on to say, I hate white people. It will never go away. I want to humbly apologize to all my fellow N-words that I called crazy for saying that they also hate white people. I'm so sorry. These people suck, and I hope that their fucking aortas split right open.
You know what? It's at moments like this when I remember that she was angry that Dean painted her out to be a violent person. When every message and every video I see of this woman, there's a threat of violence or a wish that someone dies or that something really horrific happens to them physically and violently and painfully. She just seems to be like incredibly and it's so funny, by the way, because when she's actually in front of a horrific, misogynistic, pro-Israel, genocidal, right-wing, fucking horrific fucking grifter. Oh, you look really nice today, baby. I'm really glad to be here. Fucking all smiles, ear to ear. So this is all talk as well. It's all fucking talk. She's all bark, no bite. It's fucking horrible showing in that Ben Shapiro video. She did horribly.
Moving on. And this is where we get back around to me. The video that she made on me, saying that I accused her of sexual harassment, I hope you now see that this is a pattern of behavior. Yes, she did sexually harass me. Yes, she did sexually harass Parker. Yes, she did unconsensually pleasure herself to AG in a TikTok. Plus many more. And here's what I said when this happened years ago. 19 years old, I think I was. The facts are I didn't feel comfortable with her comments towards me. I remember making it known. If she genuinely wasn't under the impression that I was uncomfortable, then no harm, no foul. I'm all good with her on that.
It's like that's like the most reasonable message. It's like that is the most reasonable message to like sexually explicit things being said about you, by the way. Like, Dean could not be more reasonable there. For a fucking 19-year-old as well.
I didn't even understand that I was being sexually harassed. And honestly, Tashika had already started, like, the same bullshit that we saw directed towards AG, in part directed towards me. With the, Dean, unalive yourself. Dean forfeits his right to life. So I even say here that, like, oh, no harm, no foul. Like, I just want out of this. Like, I do not want to deal with the abuse from a malignant narcissist. And even 2 years later, after I say I just felt uncomfortable because she was saying sexual things towards me that I didn't consent to, she posted this on her story yesterday.
Tashika called for my death, actually. You tried to ruin my career with false allegations. You must be dealt with.
I must be dealt with. I must die because I spoke out about how she sexually harassed me in one message on
She's such a fucking... She's actually evil. Like, she's actually a cartoon supervillain, man. You must be dealt with. What is this, like, Incredibles-ass anime supervillain type shit, man?
Like, apparently, AG must die because AG brought to light the fact that she was fucking... Tashika consensually pleasured herself to her. Parker must die because Parker earlier on livestream said that he was also really uncomfortable with the things...
Gonna just sexually harass people, and if they say anything, they need to die. It's fucking unreal. It's insane. What a crazy girl.
It's a pattern of behavior because it's not just me. It's not just Parker. It's not just AG. It was also the minors who were in her Discord server. Before Debate Talk had this enlightenment that it'd be a good idea to lock down Discords to people that are 18 plus. And her Discord was open to people under the age of 18 plus. She went on her Discord announcement channel.
Oh no. What is this, man? And what, the Discord was open to minors here?
Gene, and then I didn't even know I had the picture there. Fuck, I thought I edited it out. Here, 1 second. Yeah, sorry, I thought I edited that picture out, Loki. My bad.
Yeah, Naz, we probably need to blur that as well, actually.
She also said, at everyone, I feel like we should normalize men wearing bracelets on their penises. I feel like it would be a vibe. And they stretch so, you know, they can keep it on when you know. She also said the girlies can put it in their labia in a ponytail and shit. Keep in mind that this right here was seen by minors. And honestly, folks, I don't think she cares. I don't think she gives a shit.
Yeah, I mean, this is honestly pay compared to everything else. If the Discord was like, I'm guessing they made it pretty clear that it was meant, that it was like, you have to be over 18 to join this Discord. I'm sure people didn't fucking listen to it. And then, you know what it is, knowing her, I'm not even sure if she made that, like, stipulation. I remember when I had a patron-only Discord, I was quite careful about that shit. We had, like, an 18-only chat. By the way, people asking me where the Patreon's gone now. The Patreon went, like, years ago now. That shit's dead and gone. But big up everyone that was on it. I still remember all your names. The 3 most active patrons. They're probably watching this video as well. Big up Kitson. Also want to big up Cumlord. That was their name. And also Spaceman. There you go. It was Kitson, Spaceman, and Cumlord. They were the 3 most active members.
Tashika also spent 5 minutes asking a 14-year-old boy to describe his penis to her publicly, including all the angles, curves, veins, and she even asked him for a precise measurement of how long his penis was.
Okay, maybe this isn't as petty as I thought anymore. No, all right, we'll hear him out. We have to listen to this because I don't want to interrupt too much here.
He told her he was 14, and she responded by making jokes about being T. Diddy, laughed it off, and moved on. I'm gonna go ahead and let you listen to that too now. Give me a moment to pull it up. Because remember, we come with evidence. Every single thing I've said so far today has been corroborated with evidence.
You know, an issue with my curve, you love it.
Oh, I don't know about all that, buddy.
I'm just skipping to random parts in the
All right.
Anyway, so what's the circumference? What kind of phone do you have?
It's a Samsung, a newer one.
It's a Samsung. Go ahead and look up the length of a Samsung.
Oh, I already know the length. Yeah, it's a
what's the length? It's a 6.5. Go ahead and roll it over the circumference of your wiener.
Well, I can't tell what the circumference.
Yes, you can. If it is the case of the phone is about 6.35 inches, then you'd be able to roll over
the circumference. Is the distance around a circle. My phone's not circular.
Hey, dumbass. So roll your phone around it. Right?
That would be incredibly
and then
is this the funny content that she says she was known for back in the day? She was like, I was known for being funny and making really funny. This is hilarious, this actually. So you know what? I see where she's coming. I see why she has a platform, because this is fucking side-splitting, knee-slapping comedy right here. Am I watching a Dean Withers live, or am I watching Bo Burnham's Inside? I can't tell.
Accuracy right now. I'm looking for an approximate.
She's laughing about it. 1 second. Right now on live, she's laughing about it. She has a fucking smile on her face. Right now she's smiling about it. As we speak, she's live smiling about it. She's listening to a clip of her asking a 14-year-old the size of his penis, the curves of his penis. And in real time, she's laughing and smiling. Who does that? Who does that?
Fuck, it's not looking good.
Take your time.
Oh shit. I'm gonna just lie.
He got phone to dick right now, chat. This man has phone to dick. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Yo, go ahead.
I'm just confused, like.
Yo, how much? What's the circumference on that? What's the ratio? Let me know.
I mean, it's like 4.5. I think.
4.5 circumference.
What's the distance? Hold up, because now I'm having to like add and minus for my phone. I don't know.
No, you don't. I'm just saying, if it just approximate the phone to 6 inches, right? Roll the phone around it, right, and then have your finger at when you get to the end.
Okay, all right. I think I get the gist here. I don't want to listen to this whole clip. It's actually making me ill. Okay, so I actually want to show you a clip of her live reacting to this because she plays an edited clip of the voice note to make it seem as though he wasn't 14. If her previous dishonesty wasn't enough for you.
14. You didn't even get my.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Are you 14? I'm going to jail. Going to jail.
All right.
They're calling me T Diddy in the chat. How old are you? How old are you? Yo, we gotta go. You gotta go.
If the shoe fits.
Yo. We gotta go.
So in the real clip, he says, "If the shoe fits," right? When Tashika replays the clip, she conveniently leaves that part out.
Are you 14? Like, right, take your time. We were joking around.
Yeah, she just ends the clip there. Although, now that I'm re-listening to it, he says, "Meanwhile, I'm like 14. I'm not sure you'd say like if you were actually 14, although I can see myself saying I'm like 22. Depends on how casual the conversation is, a lot of context behind it. Some people just verbalize things differently. And then the if the shoe fits comment thing at the end. As well as, by the way, her completely forgetting to check the age of the person before doing this whole skit. It's like, even if they are of age, the fact that you didn't bother to check still makes this pretty fucking heinous. But I do think they were 14 though. Like, I don't think there's any evidence to suggest that they're not. She said they were joking around, but that there's no evidence that he was joking necessarily, other than she was laughing. Like, he wasn't laughing.
Whole time I'm 14. He was being sarcastic.
Like, obviously you are gonna say that. You should have just fucking checked beforehand, you idiot.
The whole time I'm like 14. You didn't even get my.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Are you 14? I'm going to jail. Going to jail.
All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, just based off my approximation.
He never actually said he was.
And then look, she skips the if the shoe fits comment. Like, she skips forward a little bit. Oh my god, I just saw a comment, by the way. 14 is puberty age, people. Does that make it okay? This is again something say, I'm like 14, no one who is 14 says that, clearly a sarcasm. I'm not gonna be a dick. Maybe it was sarcasm. It could have been sarcasm. But maybe it wasn't. And the fact that she didn't check beforehand makes this bad. Like, there is nothing, it's still not a good thing. Nonetheless, no matter what happens here, the fact that she didn't check, horribly negligent, really fucking dangerous, shitty thing to do. Undoubtedly. Still somehow not the worst thing in this whole life, but pretty fucking bad nonetheless.
Girlfriend texted Tashika saying she didn't like that she unconsensually pleasured herself to her. She called Santana a housemaid and that no one really cares about him. If you know who he is, he's a black man who comes up on the stream. She reiterated that all the haters could self-unalive, especially if they are white. She said she'll proudly make fun of victims if they're brought up. She said she could call gay people the F-slur, specifically about Johnny. She said that she hates kids. She said, believe me, with no evidence or get blocked. She made jokes about me and Parker dying.
Okay, here we go. That's the end of that section. So I guess now we can actually move on to her reaction, her live reaction, because there are some gems in here. This is her reaction to the voice message of her admitting of the sexual harassment gets brought up.
Tashika said, no, that was straight up a lie.
Because it was.
Tashika, you can't call that a lie.
Wait,
you
what?
forget that we have you admitting it recorded. Let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh my god. Wait, pause it again.
This is fucking insane. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's fucking hilarious. Like, it really shouldn't be, because it's grim and not funny at all, but also it's really fucking funny. It's funny seeing someone who really deserves to be held accountable get held accountable in the most embarrassing and shameful way possible. Like, it's not funny because of the horrific things that happen. It's just funny seeing a piece of shit sort of get their comeuppance. Maybe satisfying is a better word for it.
You shouldn't be having sex. Remind, I'm quoting Tashika here. Quote unquote, you should not be engaging in any type of sexual interaction.
Wait, that's not what I said.
That's not what I said. Oh man. And then what happens when the clip gets shown?
To self-sexually assault.
Wait.
So just don't.
What is that face? What do you mean that's not what you said? That's exactly what she said.
Get her to deny.
You told a fake story.
Let me see you. Flood the chat. She's denying it, everyone? Oh wait! I have a screen recording! Let's go ahead and take a look, folks!
A screen recording of what?
If in sexual,
the fact that I said
if in sexual situations, you are unable to communicate what you want, you should not be having sex.
Correct.
You should not be.
That's not what I said.
Engaging in any kind of sexual interaction, because you are going.
Wait, that's not what I said.
Into like self-assault yourself.
Correct.
Wait, what do you mean correct? You just said you didn't say it. What do you mean correct?
Don't do it.
Correct.
I'm gonna critique people who do that, and you need to be critiqued.
Then you shouldn't be happy.
He literally outlined exactly what she said, and then she denied it, and then confirmed it when the voice... Well, I guess you have to confirm it when the voice note's playing, to be fair. You don't really have a choice unless you're just completely in denial, and you call it AI or something. She's fumbling like an actual politician here. This is, unironically, quite Trump-like.
I cannot
Tashika
wait to
then
respond to
responded
this.
by saying, unalive yourself now.
It has a big red arrow
AG says
pointing
no.
to it. It's hilarious as shit.
Tashika then responded by
absolutely
saying,
did
if
say
you're
that.
not going to DIE, at least shut the fuck up and get out of my DMs.
1000%. Yes, I did say that. I did. Yeah. Like, if you're gonna accuse me of something so heinous, oh, you gotta be
And
dealt
folks,
Accuse you of something so what, you mean the thing that you literally admitted to? Even if it didn't happen, the fact that you admitted to it might make, like, how are you so confused that she believes this thing happened to her when you fucking said it happened? I never clap when I make points, by the way. I actually find it really annoying when people do that, but I couldn't even control it. So yeah, we're not gonna go through her entire, we went through the whole Dean live. I don't wanna go through a whole live of a live, right? We get the idea. You can sort of imagine what it is based on those clips there. It's just sort of her fumbling her way through it, getting exposed for everything, and going live like a fucking idiot when all the evidence is out there, man, and she has nothing. Well, she does have something, actually, because she starts responding with some legal threats now. Because she loves legal threats, doesn't she?
This is a really unfortunate event. I really didn't want to have to do this. But these accusations are actually wild as fuck. Like, I don't know, but it seems like I actually am gonna have to take it to court. This is gonna be really, really tiring.
Look at this. I don't even know whose side I'm on at this point. And then Tashika says, if I was in your shoes, I probably wouldn't know who to believe either. Fuck you. This is like so manipulative. Again, it's like textbook abuse tactics. You think people aren't gonna see through this shit? Girl, I'm so sorry you have to go through this legit insane. And she love-hearted that comment. Yeah, what about when she told the anorexic girl whose life was in danger to kill herself and then called her Jack Skellington? After, of course, sexually harassing her on call and then threatening legal action when she was going to expose it. I agree, actually. This is fucking insane what's happening right now. But it's not unjust what she's going through by any means. She brought this all upon herself.
Like, just like straight up lies. I've never had this happen to me before. So this is gonna be a lot to deal with. And if that like wavered your support of me, I understand. I truly do understand. But I'm still not lying. I'm still definitely telling the truth.
Yeah, you acting as though you're reasonable and sensible here is not going to trick anyone into thinking that you're actually being reasonable and sensible and rational about this all. The thing is, I believe that she is genuinely such a piece of shit that she actually believes what she's saying here. Like, she genuinely believes that she has done nothing wrong and that everything that is being said about her is a lie because she cannot even conceive that she's done nothing wrong here or that she is a villain in this storyline. Like, she sees herself as a victim of all these people and there is just nothing that will ever convince her that she is not a victim of all these people. So anything that contradicts that story in her mind is just a lie that can never be proven, which is especially insulting when she has not shown one receipt for anything.
Now I have to build a case. So if you want to help me, if you want to provide any advice, I already have my people, I already have my connections. But this is unacceptable.
There was also this very famous now screenshot of someone asking for evidence with a heartbroken emoji. So they're clearly a fan of her who is asking for evidence because they want to believe her. And then Tashika very reasonably responds, it's either believe me or I'm blocking you. Which, like, oh, I hate that. I really fucking hate that. Hey everyone, I've not been speaking up as much as the allegations against me are just too damaging for me to feel comfortable moving on normally. So I have now decided to escalate this to a legal matter. This is incredibly emotional and painful, but I am not afraid or ashamed. I am in talks with a legal team and have meetings set up, so I will not be able to stream on my regular schedule. I will not be discussing anything regarding these events from here on out. I love the idea of, like, you know what, I'm gonna represent myself. Judge, either believe me or I'm blocking you. That is an elite tactic to use in court, man. Lawyers, what the fuck are you doing? Why haven't you used that one yet? Cases like these are unfortunately lengthy, confusing, and expensive. If you'd like to help me, I will provide updates in a week on how you may be able to assist me at this time. I can't wait for her GoFundMe to come out so I can not donate to it. Let's actually have a look at the post she made. My name is Tashika. I initiated correspondence with Miss Alison G on or about October 16th. The nature of our communications was consistently flirtatious and sexual, characterized by a dynamic of dominance and submission, with AG predominantly assuming the dominant role and myself the submissive submissive. This dynamic included 4 individuals. Then she says, on the 30th of October, we did this FaceTime call, and then I engaged in the act of self-pleasure at the explicit request of AG, to the best of my knowledge and belief. But this doesn't make, again, we have the fucking voice message. We have evidence. You said, sorry for not asking for consent. I should have done that. It was fucked up of me. You clearly knew that she didn't want you to do it, or at least didn't know that she wanted you to do it. Yeah, look, all these comments are so this is like the only time I agree with TikTok comments. It's just people saying like, this is too far gone. There's no excuse, only apology and forgiveness. I don't think there even is forgiveness here. Dog, there's evidence. That's the biggest one. There's evidence of everything that you are denying here. Anyway, I skipped ahead a little bit. It seems like she's actually going to show something, so let's have a look, shall we?
Okay, I want to address everything that you said. However, I'm working right now, so if I have to end this because I get a phone call, like, I will come back, I promise. But I just want to start from the top here. First, I just want to say thank you so much for apologizing and being receptive. I think that you're taking faults in things that aren't necessarily something for you to take fault in. So I don't want you to, have to apologize. I love explanations rather than apologies, but either are appreciated. I think maybe I didn't conduct myself perfectly in that message that I sent to you. I did my best. But yeah, I just want to make it clear that, like, I was kind of looking for, an explanation and reassurance. I don't want you to, feel like you're caving in on yourself and apologizing for things that you don't, need to be apologizing for, essentially. But I definitely understand, like, I relate to a lot of what you're talking about, especially with making and keeping friends. I've struggled with this my entire life. It's very hard, especially girlfriends. Like, it's something that I'm not.
We're gonna have to listen to this all because we kind of have to, but we all agree so far this means nothing has been proved. Like, this isn't evidence at all. In fact, it's just AG's girlfriend being, like, genuinely nice to her.
Able to do, and when I find a new girlfriend, I kind of freak out and I'm like, I get weird. And so I can relate to that. I can relate to struggling with friends, and I've kind of deconstructed. I kind of have, like, commitment issues with friends, and also just, like, a fear of, like, rejection or abandonment with friends, and that is in no way, shape, or form your fault at all. That's something, like, I need to address as myself. But another thing too is just, also wanting Allison to have her own autonomy outside of me, and not wanting to necessarily push myself into friendships with her friends. I just so happen to, unfortunately, love you and Sam, and, like, I wanted to pursue that friendship. And so that's kind of a slippery slope for me, where it's like, I'm not sure if I'm able to do this or not, because, Allison's expressing that she wants her own autonomy. I completely agree with that. I think because we live together, and because, we are so enmeshed right now, her and I need to separate. With that being said, yes, so, oh shoot, I'm rambling. Hold on, let me stay on track here. I want to address, like, one thing real quick. So I know Allison has explained me as a corporate America girly, and, like, I'm super professional and all of these things. Let me tell you, it is a fucking mask, okay? I am the weirdest person on the planet. I mean, like, while I'm working, I fucking hate my job. I hate corporate America. I hate it here, okay? I just so happen to thrive in these areas, and I think, like, my mask goes up, and then I am very corporate, and, like, I'm not sure how to, take that down, especially with new people. I'm very professional. But I am the weirdest, most vulgar motherfucker on the goddamn planet. That's why when I...
Okay, this is fucking bullshit. I'm getting fucking annoyed here, because I'm wasting my time listening to a voice message of a victim's girlfriend just being nice to someone who's done something fucking horrible. Look at this comment here. I still see zero proof for what you're claiming. Yeah, same here, by the way. But someone's commented, you're taking fault for something you don't necessarily have to take fault in. That right there is an admission that she didn't even need to apologize. That's not even what she said. She said, you are taking fault for some things you don't need to take fault in. Do you see how many fucking voice messages she sent? Like, AG's girl could be referring to anything there. That statement does not necessarily refer to the sexual harassment or the touching herself non-consensually on the phone call. In fact, I'd be willing to bet it definitely does not apply to that incident. It's just that when you are really nice and someone apologizes to you profusely, like Tashika clearly did here, it is kind of human instinct to accept apologies because you don't like conflict. Also, this is not AG. As much as it's AG's girlfriend, it's not AG. AG is still allowed to feel violated. She's not being spoken for here, and it's very obvious based on everything that Dean showed us that AG does feel violated by this. And how the fuck does this excuse any of the kill yourself rhetoric and, like, anti-ED rhetoric as well? It doesn't even excuse the harassment rhetoric. Like, this is all bullshit. But I guess we'll keep listening to it. I'm gonna up the speed even more, though, because I'm wasting my fucking time here, and I respect your time too much to, You know what? Fuck it. I can't even be asked.
your debates, like you as a person, like struck me because I was like, oh my God, like I loved your debate style. I loved how you were. You were so funny. You were so out there. You were explicit. And I just like, that's exactly how I am. Meanwhile, you're incredibly fucking smart. Like that's like, you know, that's a friend that I want. And so like, I hope, you know, like send me weird shit throughout the day. Like, well, okay. So after this, if we decide that, you know, like a friendship is good, I need to talk to Allison about that. I don't even know how she's feeling about any of that. I don't want to overstep, but like potentially if you and I were to have a friendship, please send me weird shit. Please call me throughout the day. Like, you know, take my mind off of whatever fuckery is my job. Like I actually hate it here. And I'm to reiterate, I am the most vulgar person. I'm disgusting, like actually. Another thing too, I just wanted to stop you really quickly. I know I wrote something more, I promise you. Your friendship with Allison is, from my understanding, is most important to her. When I said something more, it just turned into real attraction. Where like, you know, she's expressed like, I find Tashika hot. I care about Tashika, things like that. But like, she is kind of on the same page as you. I know that you said like you thought you were having fun. She is also, at least from what I know, she's also on the same page. And I really appreciate you expressing that because there's a lot that I've been in the dark about. And I really appreciate you kind of validating that like all of this has happened very quickly. And I've had to acclimate very quickly. I feel like a fish that was just thrown into a tank. And I'm trying to have to like, you know, figure everything out right now. And you know, there's so many outside stressors as well, but I just want to keep it linear to you and I and things that affect you and I or you and Allison and, you know, the trio there. In regards to, let's see, because I wrote notes too. I pinky promise you are not, like this situation is not a repeat of what happened at the beginning of our relationship. This is fully consensual. You know, I put down my boundaries and you have respected my boundaries and Allison has respected my boundaries. At least the boundaries that were listed, you know, like we talked about this before, like I can't get mad at you for something that you didn't know. So I just want to make that clear. I promise it's not like you're not the other woman. Like anyway, moving on. So as far as you said, like, is this kind of just a you thing? So from my understanding, Allison and Sam, they don't flirt. Their friendship has blossomed into more of a friendship. So from my understanding, you're the only person that she's actively pursuing or flirting with or sexting with. And so, you know, while I don't care about that, of course, like I do just want there to be like a mutual respect, which this conversation is very helpful. And I really do appreciate this. I never expected this from you at all. Like I didn't expect you to, I don't know. I just kind of want to touch on like I also don't have all the answers. That's true. Like you said that earlier, that's true. Her and I are still exploring openness for this, you know, month and all of the shit show crazy fuckery that has happened this month. It's just been, you know, something that we're taking day by day, and you know, it hasn't been the most fun. But like that is outside of you. Okay, like you are one of like the least stressors, I guess. Kind of. Now I'm losing my train of thought, dude. Anyway, I just wanted to say, I appreciate you explaining all of this to me. It really like. It helps me understand where your heart is at and where you're coming from. And I know like sometimes I can get kind of like stone cold. I don't mean to. I'm just trying to I try to keep my emotions out of it, but I know that comes across as corporate or, you know, just stone cold or like I'm being a bitch. So yeah, but I'm going to stop this here. I might have more to say later, but I feel like now I'm just kind of like rambling, so...
Okay, well, listen to the other voice message, I guess, because, again, we kind of have to, but that fucking didn't prove anything. All it proved is that it wasn't open, really. They're experimenting with openness, and that AG might have been flirting with Tashika every now and then, but just because you're flirting with someone, this is like, again, victim blaming 101. Oh, I assaulted her, I harassed her, but she flirted with me first, so it's okay. No, that's not how it works, you idiot. Just because someone's flirted, you could be in a fucking relationship, you could be in a 20-year marriage, you still need consent before you partake in sexual anything.
Also wanted to reiterate by my last paragraph there, I was not insinuating that like you were wanting like a monogamous relationship with Allison. I'm fully aware. I just wanted to make sure like because like you are just as important to me in this situation as like anybody else would. Like I just want to make sure that your heart is protected. And so that's the reason I brought it up.
You know what's mental as well? All this niceness that AG's girl is showing to Tashika here, apparently it's all manipulation. Because Tashika said, oh, I didn't mean any of the shit I was saying, all these apologies and that. I don't fucking mean it. I actually hate this girl. All I want to do is fuck AG. So this girl here, in these voice messages, as cordial and nice as she's being, according to Tashika, she's just being completely manipulated. It's like this is all just, it's so dark. It's so dark, man.
I'm sorry if I overstepped with that, but yeah, I just wanted to ask because it was just kind of something that was on my mind, and of course, like from the conversations that you and I have had, as well as just the things that Allison has shared, like your heart is very sacred to me, even though you and I aren't very close, and that is very sacred to me, and so I want to make sure that you're protected. But you expressed that this is fun to you. You like to flirt and say freak shit, and that's perfectly fine with me. I kind of felt like I was in the dark about a lot of things, and I appreciate you being able to have that emotional maturity enough to express if like feelings are going deeper than that, and recognizing like that in a situation like that, you have to stop and have a conversation about that. Shoot, I think that's really all I wanted to say. One more thing is though, like, I don't want this to be all about me. If I hurt you, please let me know. I want to fix that. I want the opportunity to fix it. I don't want to hurt you. And the idea that I did hurt you is like killing me inside. So please, I would love to hear about that and how I can make it better, and how we can move.
Yeah, this proved fucking nothing. And she just writes the word cringe. Fucking hell, you awful. If you were really innocent, why threaten legal action? Why'd you threaten legal action at the fucking voice messages being exposed? If you had all this evidence that you weren't actually sexually harassing anyone. This is a Hail Mary desperate attempt to fucking get out of the horrific situation that you've dug yourself in. Anyway, that is officially the last I will be saying about this publicly. Thank you for your support. What support? I think it's all a load of shit. I think she's a horrible person. There's nothing redeeming about her that I've seen. I'm sure the situation is messier than I thought. I'm sure all parties are fucked up to some extent, but what Tashika has done, to what she has admitted to, is pretty undeniable in my opinion. So yeah, that's it for this video. But before I end, I want to tell you all, sorry for this video. This video is a day out. It's out a day later than I originally planned it to be, because this morning my the cat. Oh man, I woke up and Canelo has shat all over the bed. She shat all over the floor, all over, like, on the phone. The phone was just covered in shit. There was diarrhea everywhere. It was fucking disgusting. She's totally fine now. She's eating. She's playing normally. Everything's fine. Just one freak incident, I guess. Something she ate was just didn't align with her stomach, and so we only got 2 hours of sleep. Because it's just fucking menace, man. Gave her a bath and she scratched all over me, so now my body is just covered in scratches. It's very disturbing, actually. She's a vicious little baby. And she's crying right now, in fact, because she wants me to open the door. All right, I'll get her out, and then we'll end the video there. We'll end the video with some niceness and wholesomeness after all of this. Here she is. Here is Mrs. Poopy. Shit in the bed. Shit everywhere. Horrible. I think she's scared now because she thinks when I hold her, she thinks I'm going to give her a bath. She's a little terrified at the minute, but no bath. Don't worry about it. She had a bath in the morning and everything's going to be fine. But, oh God. All right, hopefully you all enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to subscribe and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye.